best art in life is one in which you have complexes. When you think you're not good enough, and therefore you try harder. With education, with exposure, sometimes comes complacence, and then people think, oh, I'm so damn good that nobody's going to be as good as me. So, not being a hotelier, not being an architect, not being all the things that Neemrana deserved, we did 32 restoration projects all over India, and we branded them non-hotel hotels, because actually none of them were ever built to be hotels. They were built for warfare, and the purpose was to keep people out. So if you had cannons and guns to say, how dare you enter, you're actually saying, Padharo Mare Desh, or whatever we say in Rajasthan. So the whole reversal process is actually what Mr. Nakul Anand called our attitude for receiving people with warmth. And I think that being humane is one of the great strengths of an Indian. And we had a freedom fighter who was called Dada Dharmadhikari, who said something wonderful. He said that we have a Manav Nishtha in us, Bharatvarsh Manavta ka desh hai. And that is something that can't easily be subdued. So this is actually, I'm talking about the other hotels, not just about Neemrana Hotel. And I thought that I would quickly run through. There are a lot of stalwarts and luminaries who know much more about hotels and tourism. But I would say, what is the ras of the whole experience of tourism? And I'm speaking only in the context of heritage hotels. Ras, or rasa as we call it in English, is the essence, the taste of something, the relish of something. It is an intangible experience. It's something that you cannot put your finger on. So after a trip or after a visit to some place, when you come, you say, what is that remains in your mind? That is most important. I think that India doesn't have to reinvent itself. Our own aspirations, we should be proud of them. We shouldn't be busy trying to be somebody else. Because India has all the foundations of goodness, all the foundations of hospitality, of design, of everything. So we need to be ourselves, and with confidence. So I thought I would look at it from a different point of view, that the rasa has been broken down in India to a very rarefied analysis. There are 9 emotions, there is no 10th emotion. So every experience, whether you eat a golgappa on the street, or whether you experience the luxury of a room, or have even an unpleasant experience, can be broken down to just 9 experiences, and how each of these in India can be made more unique. So Shringar is the first of the rasas. Shringar is the king and the queen of emotions. Surrendering in love actually brings devotion, whether you do it before a deity, whether you do it before your lover. Love exists in everything, but it needs to be evoked. Running around here and there, we don't come across it. So this is actually a hotel in Bharatpur. The old palace is next to it. They've recreated this palace, and the experience that it gives you is that of an arrival in a building that doesn't look like anything else. It doesn't look like Italy or France or America. It's India, and it's giving you what we are good at. This is unbeatable. Even after you've done all the hotels of the world, on the 100 things you must do before you die. Actually, somebody put Neemrana also in that, but I think this comes really high up. To have slept a night and woken up in the Lake Palace is an ultimate dream. I once told Mr. Vicky Oberoi that you make many hotels, but as long as you don't have a Lake Palace, the whole fantasy won't be. And I found an island for him with a small palace on it, and he went running to see it. But as it happened, that lake, I didn't know enough, and he didn't do his research, was only a rainwater lake. And that, there was rock under that, and when that dried up, there was no water. So that never happened. This is the project we did in Tamil Nadu. This is in Tamil called Tarangambadi. It's bang on the beach. Now, all the regulations that we have in India that you can't build for 500 meters and so on, this one was built 400 years ago, so it existed. And when we started to restore this, came all the wonderful government people to say, how dare you build so close to the thing? So we showed them photographs, foundations to say, hello, it's been around for 400 years, you missed noticing it. And now that we are putting life into it, you're making sure that you create impediments and we don't have tourism. This was opened one day before the tsunami happened, but it wasn't ready on the ground floor. So what did happen was, the sea went back 7 kilometers and came up with a bang. It broke the boundary wall, it went through the whole hotel for 1 kilometer, and nothing happened to the hotel, except that the wells became salted and so on, and we had to then redo the whole thing and build houses for the fishermen, which became a different priority. The second ras is laughter, happiness, which leads to contentment. When you really have a hearty laugh, when you let your hair down and really have fun, it's something you remember. If anybody plays Holi like this, it doesn't have to be a foreigner, even if it's you, it's not something that you can easily forget. So when you give that much joy to somebody, they have to. There's another issue we could talk about, because we're all the hotel industry here. We were at a meeting of the tourism industry and stalwarts, and this is only with heritage hotels. Of course, you've got much more splendid hotels in India, but just to show that even simple hunting houses of the Maharajas and people led to places. This is in the region of Braj, where people pay Holi, and so when you have distinct architecture of a region, this is the colonial building the Maharajas of Patiala had built, and this was a PPP project that Neemrana did with the Punjab government. And it's splendid experience, because the rooms are so large that when we have Japanese people, they look at the room and they say, it could be 3 stories because there are 30 feet high ceilings, and that you could make a whole hotel in one room of this hotel. Wonder. When you just look at something and say, wow, the wow factor that we were talking about. But when it comes from within, not when it's forced. So it happens, it catches you unawares, and then when it happens, it hits you and it stays with you. And look at this absolutely amazing property. Built during the famine to create work for people. It has 314 rooms or whatever of the Maharaja, which has been splendidly restored and made into an experience which anybody who once lives in it, uses it, can never forget. But we come from a country like this. Not many people have been to Ellora. People always talk about the Taj Mahal and the Taj Mahal. But this, I believe, is the most extraordinary of all buildings in India, situated in Mara. How many of you have been to Ellora here? You realize how few that is. So this was a mountain, a volcanic mountain, and somebody conceived that would make a Shiva temple downwards by chipping the whole thing by hand. So 400,000 tons of stone was chipped by hand, and it was made to absolute perfection to the plumb line. It's unfortunate that it was destroyed a lot by the Islamic invasions, and all the gods and the Apsaras faces have been, but still it remains so extraordinarily beautiful. This is just a wooden, a carved wooden door. So a country which can treat something as dry and simple as wood, they treat it like ivory and give you an experience. This is, when an elephant blesses you. For many of the people who come to India, an elephant is a prehistoric Paleolithic animal, because they don't have it over there. And to have that elephant obey and do something for you, it gives you that joy. This is a hotel in Shekhawati, on which I wrote my first book, and this whole area of tourism opened up where nobody used to ever go. This is also in Shekhawati. There are such amazing buildings lying there which were not in any shape even. There was one single bathroom, and now they've become absolutely splendid experiences. Where in the world would you have Havelis which are painted like this? So if it was Pompeii or if it was in Italy, people would make such a big thing of it. So I spent 7 years with Francis Leclerc. We wrote a book on this region, calling it the open air art gallery of the world. This is the latest of the Neemrana projects called Tijara Palace, which already, if you see how splendid it is, this was put to tender by the Rajasthan government, and all the hotel chains of India collected the papers, but nobody bid for it, because they all thought it was beyond repair. This is another important. Now, if you look at Dasera, in the two big places are Kota and Mysore. It is an experience so splendid and amazing. Not many Indians have seen it, but if anybody gets to see it, it's something you will remember all your life. This is Mysore. And even in Kulu, when they celebrate Dasera, look at the colors. This is not being enacted. This happens so naturally that we have to involve people to be part of it. And in every place where there are palaces, there are traditions, there are festivals. This is a British building, which is a beautiful hotel run by the Maharaja of Kota. Then Shant is also an extraordinary sentiment. When you look at an image of Buddha, or when you meditate or practice Buddhism, this is Pondicherry. The Himalayas, on the foothills we have the Ramgarh bungalows. The river flows so close because the Maharaja of Teli Garhwal had this. Or a 700-year-old fort with the countryside around. You have that feeling of Shanti, which you don't get, which you escape from the villages. Or a private aarti on the glass house on the Ganges. Even this, if you see, if people visit places of compassion in India, it moves them so very deeply. When you go to Benares, for example, even when you go to the burning ghats, it's an experience that moves people, for them to understand the ecological wisdom of people. You can't just be burying people and taking up more and more space for the dead, because the people who are alive today are much less than all the people who have died. So if we kept a mark, a body-side mark of everybody who lived on this earth, well, I wanted actually to elaborate on this. And this is the Surya Devta, which are fresco in one of our hotels. If you look at it from whichever place you do, the eyes of the god look at you, because it's been painted in a certain way. When people live very superficially in cities, sometimes something that shakes them out of their themselves brings a new emotion. And then they return to, when they see too much poverty, when they see suffering and so on, that also creates an excess. So this, in Benares, we have the Ghori sadhus who experience disgust by whatever you can put in their bowl, they can eat. Even if you put animal excreta, they can eat it, because they say that you should have an experience beyond having cornflakes and toast. So India offers everything. In the 17th century, a French artist came and recorded what the people did in India, and that attracted people. I think it's important to also try and become like children, because children don't fear anything. Adults are always in fear of something. What will happen to this? What will happen to that? And if you were to look at Durga Puja and explain and understand the wisdom of the thought behind Kali and the many aspects of the dangerous aspects of the woman, and how this is showcased in the Raj Bhavan. So heritage tourism actually takes you to that roots of India, which are true, real, and I think that what needs to be done, because the subject of today is that more and more heritage sites should be woken up or ruins should be restored so that people go away from the few centers, and that in every district of India there is employment, there is tourism, there is excitement, and so on. Thank you.